Hello, hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Lavender Overhang, where in the last episode we were working on this. I know, and you're gonna say, like, what the heck, Jess? What happened here? How did this get done? Well, I am gonna flip you over into a little time lapse that will show you what exactly I did here, but I thought it needed a little bit of a work behind the scenes on this because I was having issues, as you saw in the last one. We failed rather aggressively, and I didn't want to fail. I just wanted this done because the wood is holding up other things that we're working on and other things that I want to work on. So we're just going to go ahead and run with what happened in the time lapse. All right. Oh, and if you see down here in the corner, I got another one of the mods to work. This is our mini map mod that shows us where exactly we are on the map. All right. So stand by. I'm going to flip you over into the time lapse. Okay. So this is where we left it, with this gigantic mess of a hole in the ground. And I decided that it would just be better off to figure out how to get that whole entire space open. So I laid out the rest of that particular floor and let the beavers get to work with that. I still ended up with a bit of an issue though. As I get to the top of this floor, I realized that we still have some overhang here that we're going to have to deal with some regular dynamite. So we went ahead and laid that, as well as subsequent floor. And then we realized, oh, when we took out that last bit in the middle, we lost a chunk in the middle. So we're going to have to do something there. If we put in these stepping blocks in the corners, we might be able to get back that middle section. So it's just a matter of figuring out how many of those I need to put in before we get the center sections back. So no problem there. Go ahead and start removing all of the rest of these platforms because we no longer need them. And we're going to have to put a ladder up the middle here because I can't seem to get a good enough step there that's even in balance that will let me get that middle block in. So we're just going to put a ladder up through there and pretend we meant to do that. It looks fine. But then we get all the next floors laid. The beavers start working on that. And once we get to this point, we can take it out and put in that metal platform that's going to hold up the center of the roof. Get all that in, the ladder's in, and then we can start imploding all of the platforms underneath of that. Meanwhile, we are having a bit of an issue with a lot of planks on the ground. We're gonna have to figure that out here at some point. And we still have to deal with all of this stuff that's happening, the droughts and the bad tides that are coming through here as we're working on this too. So just paying attention to that stuff. This is gonna be the last layer. So right there, you can kind of see the whole thing. Now, on one of those bad tides, I did realize that we were going to have seepage from the water sources over here with creep of corruption. So I'm going to lay down some impermeable floors. I'm sorry, irrigation barriers, contamination barriers to replace that. This is also about the point where I realized we were out of dynamite. That was part of our problem, is things were running so slow because we were out of dynamite. So I went ahead and threw in the extension to the industrial district by laying a bunch of pipe underground so that we could get our dynamite factory, explosives factory, up on the second level. And the first time I placed it in a spot I didn't like, so I redid that. You know, it's always chaos here. And we just gotta get the beavers to lay that pipe. It'll take us a minute to get that done. And in the meantime, they are still very slowly working on the other end. So we've got two things going on, and our drought ended there. And you can see we still have 2 layers to go here. Are we going to finish that before we finish the new explosives factory? I don't know. It's going to be a race to see what is going on here. It's going to be close, I think. So we got to get the power up to the 2nd level there. And once we get that in, then we can get that up and running. Now it's running. It's got some storage. We can go back to what we were working on. We've got 2 levels of the platforms in. We just need 2 more levels and then we'll be able to put the metal platform in. And honestly, it took about 2 hours, almost 2 hours to get this done, which I have sped up so fast and given you a 5-minute time lapse on, just because it would have taken forever if we had done this full speed, regular speed in an episode. We would still be working on this next week. But here we go. On to the last on this layer. Bing, bang, boom. Now we can put in the metal platform. Take out that center section, let them do that. Put in the ladder that we need. That'll connect all of the levels. I don't think we'll close out the other one, but this one will run up all the way to the very top with our hanging forest on the very top of the map. Still got to get those contamination barriers in as well. Here you can see too much lumber left over there. All right, and now that you have seen how we went ahead and got this all completed, we do have a little bit more work to do here. I did, as I showed at the end up having to put in a underground pile plus 3 of the extra large piles in order to pick up 90% of the planks that we use for this. We do still have some laying about down here that we are going to have to figure out. We are also going to have to get another row of contamination barriers in on this level, and I don't think, if I remember correctly, that we can actually physically go into this wall anymore. Yeah, maybe we can get away with it like right here. So let's go ahead and throw in a last set of tunnels right here to let us get those contamination barriers in. So we'll go ahead and we'll let them do that. We are, like I said, gonna still need to get all of these planks picked up. And now we have the fun task of figuring out what trees to plant and which ones to prioritize. So up above, we have this whole section is oak. We've got oaks and pines over in here. We have a little bit of maple. And we have a few chestnut trees, not too many. So we could theoretically put in like a whole level that is just like maples and chestnuts, and have gathering flags and a tapper shack down there. And then I'm not gonna do all of the trees, I don't think, because it just seems kind of a waste. We've got a lot of pine here too. So I don't know that we need like a super ton more. We are almost always, I think we did flip our resin over into one of the sections over there. One of the big warehouses. So I don't think we need a full on batch of that. Now, I think we just got to make sure that we don't accidentally put a barrier on top of the ladder, which is the only problem I really see here. is with that ladder there, we're gonna allow some creep. But we're gonna have to wait for the next bad tide to verify whether or not that actually happens. So we shall see, we shall see. I'm not quite certain what to do about all the wood. I didn't understand quite how much craziness was gonna happen with all of the planks from that. We currently are stocking 3,400 planks. I have shut off all of our plankers. The gear workshops were already shut off, but I'm going to turn on a few of those because they will let us recoup some losses, and we have storage space for gears. So we'll let them do that. We also want to flip over to some of the larger tanks, and we're going to need more gears for that. So I think we'll be all right on that front. We just have a few more to go down here. All right, so let's come down here to the bottom level. We're going to need a forester. Do we want to make it come like right down there, or how? Let's go top down. That'll be a little easier to look at. All right, well, we'll set it up like that. We've got to have the forester in here, which bing, bang, boom. All right. And then if we're going to use one of these levels as a combination, we're going to need a tapper shack. And yes, I know we could get away with not putting in the tapper shack until we were done, but just in case something happens and we need to replant, we'll always have a forester here. Once he's planted, we can just shut him down. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to put in what was it, chestnuts? Chestnuts. Right. And then pine. And I will go ahead and flop in. We're going to need a... Do we want to put storage down here as well? That's the other thing we should think about. Do we want an intermediate storage? If so, we could, if we take this path out, we could say this is for chestnuts or pine resin. Let's say pine resin, and then we can put our path in, and we can put a gathering flag like right there. Good. And then do we want some storage for chestnuts? Because we could, for chestnuts, we could put in one of those here. That would keep the little man from having to run quite so far. And I'm gonna lower the priority on that because we don't really need him down here right now. This is going to be for raw chestnuts. You can reach all of that, correct? Yeah. All right, so that's the first one. Oh, hey, he can actually reach all 3 floors. Well, ain't that spiffy? All right, I'm actually kind of rethinking this. We could probably do a whole floor of... He can reach that floor as well. We could do a whole floor of chestnuts and a whole floor of pines. and then a whole floor. All right. I was just thinking we could blow out right behind the ladder. I'm not 100% certain that would work though. Okay. So let's get a... do we want to... I'm almost wishing that I hadn't planted all of that as chestnuts. Which would mean I'd have to... Okay. Take that out. Alright. I know. I'm doing the chaos again. I'm doing the chaos. I think I want this whole floor pine. So we'll say that's going to be pine resin. All right, and then if we come up, this floor I'm going to do as the oh, let's go back down. That's not down. And mark these for cutting. And then, you know what? I'm also going to take out this path and put more pines in there. All right. Leave him to that. All right. Then this level, I don't think we can't plant under there. We could probably get away with like some berries or something like that under there, or some, like, do that and then plant the rest in chestnuts. And honestly, why do we need this path? Oh, we can't fit one there. Because of the little overhangy PC bed. It's too close for that. All right, so then I think if we go ahead and we put a storage unit like that, then we could run a gathering flag like that. I'm wondering if we should do 2. And we make this chestnuts. Not you, this. We make this chestnuts. Okay. And we probably should finish out the chestnuts. Boom. Okay. And then let's also put a little for extra berries that he collects. We are gonna say we want to use these to supply other warehouses. We don't want to fill these all up. Oh, they're already stocking the chestnuts in there, which means that we need to go over to the grills and have them put in some chestnuts. I know the chestnuts over there. Okay, I am going to go ahead and put in a couple of Wrong button. A couple of those. All right, and because we've got pine on this floor, we'll have chestnuts on this floor. We will make this one all oak. All oak. I am going to come in here and take out this path though. All right. And then we'll need to get a couple of... Ooh, drought ended. Let's come up and make sure everything is working fine. We did get the double sluice wall going on in here, which seems to be working just fine. Those are looking good. They did get all of this done. We do need to flip one of these grills, which we didn't leave any space for. I'm gonna say chestnuts. And I'm gonna say grilled chestnuts. We did not leave any space for chestnuts over here. So we might have to expand this whole thing and make this a little bigger. And somehow we ended up with that one not built before the other ones were. Not cool. And now it's too far from district. Okay, we still needed to get in a couple of lumberjacks here. And I think we will just go ahead and do them like right here. What the heck, let's do 3. And we will go ahead and bing, bang, boom. All right, these are going to be logs and logs, and we are going to use them to supply elsewhere. All right, so it looks to me like this little man down here is rather done. Almost with this level, not quite the other levels. They're gonna end up having to... We still have no storage room for planks. Oh no, the lumber is taking over the world. We did actually at one point repurpose several of like the lumber ones down here for that. So I think we need to get into the building of the industrial storage, which I would like to do as a combination of these guys and these guys, I think. If you read this, it says it has an underground depth of 2. So I think you could just leave 2 layers. You know, we could come down 3 layers. On this layer, not that one. Well, it has to be more over here because we can't be under the mine. The mine's not going to let us do anything because that goes straight to bedrock. But I was thinking, okay, we come down to the bottom of the world, come up 2 levels, put in our thing, leave a level, then go up 3 levels, put in another one. We would be able to have a underground storage that is all the underground piles. And I think that that would make us have a ton of storage available to us without taking up a huge footprint. Because we could do like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean? And have a very good storage system without a problem. But it's a matter of, do we want to start from the bottom of the world like we did with the tree farm? Or do we want to do something else? Because we would have to do a, what is this, a 4x? I think it is. I think it's a 4x. If you look at that guy. Storage. Underground pile. 3x. It's a 3x. So if we came down and we did 3 a path, 3, we would be able to get that over that metal platform that would keep the middle held up, if that makes sense. So I think we need to work on that for our next little bit here, because we are running rapidly out of storage space, and I would rather see the storage go underground. I think that makes a lot of sense. Oh, hey, they got this down here done. So let's shut off water and that. Oh, there's dynamite we can implode. Boosh. 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 Very good, very nice. Now we can take out this. Let's see here. How are we gonna get to all of that? We don't really have a down, do we? Let's go ahead and stick in a ladder right here. Because they're gonna need to be able to reach the bottom to put dynamite on this. And then we can go ahead and we can boosh. Boosh. All right, and then we need 2 and a single. So these are 2s. And then these are singles. All right. So now we have the thought, do we want to add another pump in here, or do we want to start putting in our large water tanks? We are well clear of the battery banks, so we do have the option that we could start some sort of water storage stacking system thing over here without a problem. So we might think about that. We could put platforms over this section. In fact, we probably could go to right there and start the large water tank storage area. If we come back here, we could clear out a little bit more space too and go into there. Everything's going to be inside the overhang by the time we're done. We do have all the grist mills up and running, and all of their assorted storage is full. We've got more wheat than we know what to do with. So I'm half wondering if we shouldn't convert a little bit of that to potatoes. But we've got a lot of potatoes too. So it's one of those catch-22s. It's like, okay, what exactly do we need more food for? We have 17k food, and we have another 1.7k in raw potatoes, 2k in wheat, and then 2k in wheat flour. So the only thing holding us back at this point on these things is storage space. The other thing we don't have very many of is sunflowers. So we might think about putting in a patch of sunflowers over here. Oh, we got this guy in. We didn't really leave ourselves space to put in a fluid dump here. But we only really need that during drought periods when this corner starts to dry out. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. We'll just say unpause when drought starts and unpause when bad tide starts and pause when temperate starts. Opposite of what we always do for everything. All right. So let's see here. Are we done planting everything? No, can he? Oh, he can't reach that. Can this guy reach it? No, he can't either. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Whoops. Thought process was left behind on that one. Okay. See, there's always chaos. Always chaos. Can these guys reach down to there? No, but we do have a little gentleman sitting there. Okay, as soon as we get rid of these trees down here, which is gonna take forever, we will do that. We didn't mark this layer for cutting, so we probably should do that as well. I need to get a forester in here somehow. How are we gonna do that? I don't know. If I extend the path, would it? Is it the path it's having an issue with? Oh, I put a tree right there, so I can't extend the path. Okay. We need to figure out how to get that planted up, which means we're gonna need a forester on this level now. Not a big thing. Let's see here. Forester. Oh, bother. You're kidding me, right? Apparently the forester was blocking that just enough. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna have to rip those trees out now. The chaos. Always with the chaos. If they take those out, then I should be able to put a forester right here. Right there. Very good, very nice. That's kind of annoying that I need one that close. But hey. It's alright. We'll live. It's not that big of a deal. And then if we... Oops, I didn't mean to go all the way up. This guy. Yes, he can help cut that level as well. So all good in the hood. I didn't close anything up, so we didn't get max efficiency on the water. Especially not over here. Whoa. What happened there? Do we have max on the water in here? Pretty darn close. We don't have max efficiency over here though. All right, so we were also working on this little section here, which we've got some more dynamite we can implode. Let's go ahead and lay the next layer. We need to come up with a way for them to reach that. Which I think means we're going to have to create some sort of overhang. Probably not the best time to be doing that, considering that we are in... Woo! Oh, thank you, autosave. That was beautimous. That we are currently in drought, so we can't refill that. So let's not mess with that anymore. This guy is done, and he is completely planted now. He is working on it. He's working his little tail off. This was the level that we were looking at the contamination barriers being a little bit not quite correct. We're gonna need to come back there, and there, I believe. Because we literally like put all the other layers right back here. I don't think we will break through there. But I would like to make sure that we're not going to kill off these trees right away, because I would cry. I would cry. Okay. We need one more. We need one more, guys. Come on. We can do it. All right. Very good. Very nice. Very good. Very nice. So we got our temporary storage down here. There we go. I was waiting to hear the boom booms. All right. How are we doing here? I think we are officially out of log storage, which is part of our problem here. Let's go ahead, and now that we no longer need the barriers over here, we can go ahead and we can put in the last of those trees. Now we need to decide, do we take these ones out altogether and put that back to potatoes? Like we had been using them? I almost think we do. I almost think we do. We haven't even tapped our water here. 6K. It's got neither a fill or a not filled as of yet. Oh, we can go down a whole nother level. Very good, very nice. Let's lay that then. We'll let them put that in. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that either. I am apparently lacking a brain today on what I shouldn't do during drought season. We never did get this filled in here, and I would like to get that filled in, so let's put a couple of ladders. They should be able to reach all of that then. All right, and then over in here are, how far down is our connection to the lower area? Right there. So we're gonna want to not cut too low right there, otherwise we'll end up completely foiling our thing. You know what, I think we might not do these ones. Well, we can do a few more layers, I think. We can do a few more layers. I don't think we'll have a problem with that. And then we'll have to be careful when we get to a certain point that we don't go beyond this one. So we'll just have to pay attention as we bomb out the rest of that. All right, I like it. We just need to get these ones switched over to pines, and then this will be all complete. So hopefully there's 78%. Our problem is going to be is we don't have any log storage. Okay, let's see here, because this one's completely full. We can't go the other way for log storage. So back to the industrial idea. All right, so if we, where do we want to go down? Maybe we make our down ladder like right there. So if we were to put a large square storage. Can't go there. That would be, well, it could go there. All right, so if we come down right there, right, and then we need a path in between there. Or do we want to move it over, move our like path over here? So if we've got one there, right? Then do we have enough? No. We don't have enough to stack because we need a path in between. So 1, 2. All right. Let's start it. I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. It would actually need to be like here, right? So right next to the ladder would be our down. Let's go ahead and start the down because it's gonna take us a minute. It's gonna take us a long minute. That's a long ways down. We need to be 3 up from the bottom. And then we'll just start with our first row here. So if we've got 1, 2, we're gonna run into a problem that we're not gonna be able to run a path in front. Although underneath of here is no longer dangerous since all the bad water is contained, so we can run underneath of that. All right, I think we got a plan. Douche. I wish there was a way to see the actual like levels. How many levels do I have all the way to the bottom there? So we're just gonna have to do it by counting dynamite. So that was 1. All right, and that is 2. That was quick. And then we'll go ahead and put the next one in. They must not have a lot to do. Because they were Johnny on the spot. Oh, 3 is done. I should have come and done it back here. Like, why did I do it there? I bet y'all are screaming at the screen. Like, lady, do it someplace where you actually can see it. Like, why are you making your life so difficult? Okay. All right, what else are we working on? We aren't working on anything at the moment, so I think we probably should start thinking about the healthy living area. So what have we got for? We have mud pits. That would be a good option to add in over in here somewhere, I think. They don't require power. They don't require anything but mud. So we could actually fit in a few of those along back here. I don't know if that's the best place for them, or if we should make some sort of bathing and fun complex. I was thinking about it for over here, but it seems like it's kind of far away from the actual housing. And I do think we need to come up with more housing. This housing is not enough to house all of the beavers. But I think once we get things going down here, I want to boosh all of this and then build up a nice complex down here as well. It's going to be smaller because, of course, we can't fit a behemoth like this down here. But we can fit in some nice things down here with a little work. So I think that might be... If we put them back here, then the beavers below would also have access to them. Or we could do... All right, so bathing. Bathing. What do we need for bathing? We need showers. And we need Lidos. A Lido is how wide? It is 4. So 1, 2, no. Let's see here. If we did like right here, 1. Okay. So let's put in... Do we want to make it terrain blocks? Oh, we can't put terrain blocks on top of that. Can we put... Yes, we can put levees. I was like, all of a sudden I got a little scared there. Lidos are 2 deep? Right? Or are they 3 deep? They are a total of 3, but 1 block on the edge. So if we go, let's come in 1 block. That would be 1. We put them back to back. That probably would be the best option. So 1, 2, 3. Then a space, then 1, 2, 3, right? And then we come, it's 4. And if we did, wait, pause. The beavers are starting to build before I want them to. Okay. We need a space because we're gonna need a fuel, not fuel, fluid dump. Gosh. I will apologize. I have been up for very many hours today, so I'm a little bit off today. I'm sorry about that. Then... Oh, that kind of makes us, if we put... We put them on this end. Yes, okay. And then if we do... I know this is going to sound odd, but if we do this and this, maybe we go all the way to the end. It'll make sense when I'm done. Trust me. Okay. Then we take and we put What are we missing so far? Maybe we don't do it there. Maybe we do it here and here. And then maybe we take out this guy and we put a stairs in here. I'm attempting to use more stairs this playthrough for decorative purposes. I know, it seems kind of strange, but I'm attempting it. Then we're going to need a... can I flip this guy's door? Wellbeing. Eyes can. If we put this guy here. Uh-oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry, I couldn't get to the mute fast enough there. So sorry. We do like that. We do like that. Oh, why did it go under? We do like that. Right? And then we do a similar thing on this side. Yes, yes. Stair and stair. Then that also connects into path and path. That right there is our down into the lower level. We need a fluid dump, but flipped around. We also need this fluid dump to be connected to a gauge. All right. All right, all right. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Okay, so then, you know what I actually think? We don't technically need the corners, and it would round things out a little bit. Okay, can I... Do we want to do bulletin poles, light poles? I feel like we need like, that. Maybe we leave the... Maybe we do leave the corners in. I just didn't like how it looked with two corners. Two thingies. We say lovey, lovey, and then we put the bush. All right, and then if we come up here and we put in... We've gotten a fancy. We might need... Okay. Yes, yes, I like that. I like that better. I know. It seems like a waste. We had water here. Why didn't we just put this in the water? Well, because I didn't want to. Does that make sense? I am thinking we do still need a place to put the Fountain of Joy. And I think we could get away with putting a We got water sources all the way down there, but I think if we put in a overhang, right? Doesn't have to be that big of a one, just enough to hold. I think it has to be a or not. Can we get away with... I know, we just squirreled really bad. I know. We will go back to our little water area in mere moments. If we did like that. Oh no, it's a 3x3 base, isn't it? Bother. So we need to be able to get... Can you dynamite those? Put dynamite on that one, blow it, and then... You can. Will they be able to reach that one too? We'll see. Because this doesn't block water. This doesn't block water at all. But how does that work when you have a bad tide then? Does it shoot bad tide? I wonder. I ponder. Let's see if we can get another one in there and see if it'll even let us place it. All right, so back over here to our little wonder of wonders. Let's pick that up. Okay. So now we have like a little bathing facility. We can also come and do some cutesy stuff with this by mimicking our kind of like roof sections here. And then we've got more room to put some other things. So I'm thinking if we've got this all set up for this, it might be better to put the mud pits over here near the bathing facility. We probably, although that leaves out any for future expansion of the food area. So I think we're probably going to have to put them elsewhere. All right, so we have planned for that. We have started the dynamite for industrial storage, which we will have to carry on in another episode because we are now at the, I think, an hour mark with our little time lapse in there. So we are going to have to see. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to call this done. Oops, wrong button. Oh, they haven't gotten all of them yet. Well, we're going to have to come back to that in the next one. So remind me that we need to come down here, finish chopping those trees, and reset that to the pine layer. All right. So that is where I'm going to call it for today. I do appreciate you watching. I'm so happy that we are completed with this particular little thing. I don't even know what to call it. And that we have started on to some other things. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. If you have enjoyed this episode, please go down and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed, because we are on the road to 500 subscribers. All right, see you next time. Bye.